When we want something very deeply, we often start to imagine how things should be. We create pictures in our minds of how our lives should look, how people should behave, and how the future should unfold. These pictures are not always bad. They can give us hope and direction. But when we hold on to them too tightly, they begin to cause pain. Many times, we don't even notice we are doing this. We say, "I just want things to go well," or "I hope they understand me." But hidden inside these thoughts is a strong desire for a certain outcome. We want life to follow our plan. And when it doesn't, we feel stress, sadness, or even anger. It's not the situation itself that hurts us. It's the gap between what we hoped for and what actually happened. Why do we hold on to these expectations? Often it's because we think they will keep us safe. If we can plan everything, maybe nothing bad will happen. Maybe we won't feel pain or loss. But life is not like a story we write ourselves. It has its own rhythm, and it does not always follow our plans. Sometimes we also believe that if we let go of our expectations, we are giving up. We fear that without a goal or a clear picture of success, we will become lost or lazy. But letting go is not the same as giving up. It is a different kind of strength. It means we stay open to what is happening, even when it is not what we wanted. When we begin to understand where our expectations come from, we can begin to soften them. We can see them for what they are, just thoughts, not rules. Then we can choose how tightly we want to hold them. We can ask ourselves, is this helping me or is it hurting me? Letting go of outcomes is not easy. But when we begin this practice, we may feel a new kind of peace. Not the peace that comes from everything going right, but the peace that comes from not needing it to. Every day, we try to control many things. We want people to like us. We want the weather to be nice. We want the traffic to move quickly. We want our health to be strong and our plans to succeed. Of course, it's natural to want things to go well. But problems begin when we believe we must control these things in order to be happy. When we think, if this doesn't happen, I can't be okay, we give away our peace. We tie our happiness to something outside of ourselves, something we cannot truly control. And when that thing changes, as life often does, we feel shaken. Think of how much energy we spend trying to make things go a certain way. We worry about tomorrow. We replay yesterday. We try to guess what others will say or do. We try to protect ourselves from every possible mistake. This control becomes a habit. And often, we don't even realize how heavy it is. Sometimes we control things in small ways, like becoming irritated when someone is late. Other times, we do it in bigger ways, like pushing ourselves or others too hard, because we are afraid of failure. But in both cases, the root feeling is fear. Fear that if we don't manage everything perfectly, we will suffer. And yet, the act of controlling is already a kind of suffering. True peace doesn't come from managing life perfectly. It comes from being able to stay steady when life is not perfect. When we try to control everything, we miss the chance to experience things as they are. We become too busy fixing, planning, judging. We stop listening. We stop seeing. Imagine holding a bird too tightly in your hands. It cannot breathe. It cannot fly. But if you hold it gently, it can rest and still be free. Life is the same. When we grip it with control, we crush it. But when we loosen our grip, we begin to feel its beauty, even if it's different from what we expected. Letting go of control doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting with care, but not needing everything to go our way. In this freedom, we find something precious, the ability to live each moment with more ease. Many people think that peace comes from fixing what is wrong. If we can change our thoughts, change our feelings, or change our situation, then we will feel better. This way of thinking is common, but it also creates a problem. We begin to fight with life instead of learning from it. We see every difficulty as something to fix, rather than something to understand. But there is another way, a quieter, softer way. It begins with observing, just watching, not judging, not fixing, not trying to change anything right away. Simply noticing what is happening, both outside and inside of us. For example, imagine feeling sad one day. The usual reaction might be, I don't want this. How do I get rid of it? But instead, we might try saying, this is sadness. It feels heavy today. It's here. That small shift, from rejection to observation, can change everything. The sadness may still be there, but we are not fighting it anymore. We are giving it space. Observation without control is powerful. It teaches us that we are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions. We are the one who notices them. And the one who notices is calm, steady, and patient. This way of seeing gives us strength. Not the strength to win a battle, but the strength to stop needing one. Often, when we observe in this way, we begin to see clearly. We may notice that some of our stress comes from old habits, old fears, or misunderstandings. We may see that our thoughts rise and fall like waves. They are not permanent. And when we stop trying to control them, they often change on their own. This does not mean we never take action. But action that comes from clear seeing is very different from action that comes from panic or fear. First we watch. Then, if needed, we act. And sometimes, just the watching is enough. In a world that pushes us to do more, fix more, change more, this simple act of observing can feel strange. But it is a return to something deep inside us, a quiet wisdom that does not rush, a wisdom that says, you don't have to fight this moment. Just see it, be with it, and let it be. Most people are afraid of uncertainty. We like to know what will happen next. We like plans, answers, and clear paths. Uncertainty feels like danger. It feels like standing in the dark, not knowing where to step. So we try to create safety by controlling things, by making rules, by guessing the future. But no matter how hard we try, life remains uncertain. And yet, there is a different way to live, a way that doesn't fight uncertainty, but moves with it. This way doesn't depend on always knowing what comes next. It depends on learning how to live well even when we don't. Think of a river. The water does not know every turn ahead. It simply flows. It moves around rocks. It slows in deep places. It rushes through narrow ones. It does not stop to ask, where am I going? It just flows. We too can live like this, moving through our lives with openness instead of fear. Uncertainty is not the enemy. It is the nature of life. Everything changes. Seasons change. Our bodies change. The people around us change. When we stop fighting this truth, we begin to feel lighter. We stop needing every answer. We stop fearing every unknown. This kind of freedom is not loud or dramatic. It's quiet. It comes from trust. Not trust that everything will go how we want, but trust that we can meet each moment as it comes. Even if we don't know the outcome, we can still walk forward with calm. Sometimes when people hear this, they think it means giving up. But it's the opposite. It means showing up fully, without needing life to fit our ideas. It means being alive to what is, instead of always chasing what might be. This is a brave way to live. Living with uncertainty does not mean we stop caring. It means we care without clinging. We love without needing guarantees. We try our best without needing to win. And in doing so, we discover a different kind of strength. a strength that doesn't break when plans fall apart. When we stop fearing the unknown, we begin to see beauty in it. We find moments of wonder, surprise, and peace, not because we controlled the path, but because we walked it with open hands. Many of us grow up believing that if we try hard enough, we can make life turn out the way we want. We work, plan, and hope. We think, if I do everything right, good things will happen. But life does not always follow our efforts. Sometimes we do our best, and things still fall apart. Sometimes the result is not what we expected. This can feel unfair. It can shake our faith. In those moments we may ask, what's the point of trying if there are no guarantees? But maybe the point is not control. Maybe it is trust. Not trust in getting what we want, but trust in life itself, even when it surprises us. Trusting the flow of life does not mean being passive. It means doing what we can, with care and sincerity, and then letting go of what we cannot control. It means accepting that we do not see the whole picture. Sometimes what feels like failure leads us somewhere better. Sometimes what we lose opens a new path. We may not see it right away. But over time we begin to notice that life has a way of balancing itself, even if the balance is not what we imagined. This kind of trust is quiet. It does not shout. It does not demand. It says, I don't know how this will turn out, but I will still take one step forward. It says, I cannot be sure of tomorrow, but I will still live today with honesty. Letting go of guarantees is hard. We want certainty. We want promises. But certainty is not part of life. And the more we try to hold on to it, the more we suffer. Trust is softer. It gives us space to breathe. It lets us meet life as it is, without fear of the unknown. When we stop needing guarantees, we start to live more fully. We take risks. We speak truth. We open our hearts. Not because we know it will all go well, but because we are no longer waiting for perfect safety. This is the kind of trust that brings peace. Not the peace of everything going right, but the peace of knowing we don't have to control it all to be okay. Sometimes people think acceptance means giving up. They imagine it as weak or passive, like saying, I guess this is just how it is, with sadness or defeat. But true acceptance is not like that. It is not weak. It is one of the most powerful things a person can learn. Acceptance means seeing things clearly, without trying to push them away or pretend they are something else. It means saying, this is what is here right now, without adding judgment or resistance. It does not mean we like everything that happens. It means we stop fighting against what already is. When we do not accept, we create a second layer of suffering. First, there is the difficult thing itself. Loss, change, disappointment. Then there is our struggle against it. We say, this should not be happening, or I can't stand this, and that reaction adds more pain. Acceptance removes that second layer. It doesn't make the problem go away, but it makes it lighter to carry. There is quiet strength in simply being with what is real. It takes courage to stop running, to stop blaming, and to stand still with the truth of a moment. This kind of strength grows slowly. It is not loud, but it is steady. And over time, it gives us more peace than any argument or escape ever could. Think of a tree in strong wind. It does not fight the wind. It bends, it moves. It stays rooted, but it does not resist. This is acceptance. It allows us to stay grounded, even when life is hard. We are not broken by the storm. We move with it. When we accept, we also become more open to what comes next. We stop using all our energy to resist, and we have more space inside to see new choices, to respond with clarity. Acceptance is not the end. It is the beginning of something more honest, more free. This strength does not need to prove anything. It is not loud or proud. It simply says, yes, this is how it is right now, and I am still here. From this place, peace becomes possible, not because life is perfect, but because we are no longer demanding that it be. In many parts of life, we are taught to focus on the result, study to get a degree, work to earn money, exercise to lose weight. Even in our personal growth, we think, I need to reach peace, or I must become better. These goals are not wrong, but they can make us forget something important, the value of the path itself. When we live only for the result, we miss the present moment. We become so focused on getting somewhere that we stop noticing where we are. Life begins to feel like a race. And in that race, we often feel behind. Not good enough. Not there yet. But what if there is no final place to arrive? What if the journey itself is the point? Then, every step becomes meaningful. Not just the big ones, not just the successful ones, but all of them. The slow days, the quiet days, the days when we feel lost, they all belong. Walking the path without needing to arrive means being present with each step, without pressure. It means living each day fully, even if it's simple or ordinary. It means allowing ourselves to grow slowly, without comparing our journey to others. This way of living is gentler. It gives us room to breathe. We begin to see beauty in small things, in a kind word, in a deep breath, in a quiet morning. We learn that peace is not a prize waiting at the end of the road. It is something that appears when we stop rushing. Of course, we can still have goals. We can still dream and work toward things. But we hold those dreams lightly. We don't make our happiness depend on reaching them. We don't say, I will be at peace only when. Instead we say, I can be at peace here, even now. Some days the path is clear. Other days, it is covered in fog. But if we keep walking, without fear, without hurry, we begin to trust the path itself. We begin to understand that every step, even the difficult ones, carries its own kind of wisdom. And in this steady walking without rushing to arrive, we find something quiet and deep, a life that is enough just as it is. Peace is not something we chase. It is something we uncover. Beneath the noise, beneath the pressure, beneath the need for everything to go as planned. When we stop holding on so tightly to outcomes, we begin to feel a quiet space inside. A space where we can rest, even when things are uncertain, even when we don't have all the answers. Letting go of outcomes does not mean we lose direction. It means we live with more ease along the way. We act with care, we speak with honesty, and we accept what comes, without needing it to match our picture. This freedom allows us to be more fully present in our lives. We stop trying to control every moment, and instead, we begin to meet each one with openness. There is a kind of peace that is not loud or dramatic. It does not come from perfect circumstances. It comes from inside, when we no longer argue with life, when we accept the joy and the sorrow, the clarity and the confusion, the gain and the loss. All of it becomes part of the journey. This path is not always easy, but it is full of truth. And the more we walk it, the more we understand that peace is not waiting somewhere far away. It is already here, in the way we breathe, in the way we listen, in the way we live with soft hands and a steady heart. If any part of this message has brought comfort or reflection into your day, I'm truly grateful. Your time is precious, and I thank you for sharing it here with me. To those who have given this video a like, shared it with others, subscribed to the channel, left a thoughtful comment, or supported through super thanks, Please know that your kindness is deeply appreciated. Your support helps make it possible for messages like this to continue reaching those who may need them. May you walk your path with calm steps, free from the weight of needing everything to turn out a certain way. And may you discover, in your own time and way, the quiet peace that does not depend on outcomes.